Brother Can You Spare Two Dimes is a pretty fun episode of The Simpsons, and because I've been binge watching this, I'd only recently watched Oh Brother Where Art Thou. So having Herb Powell back again, for me quite so soon, was certainly interesting. But I think a decent enough amount of time between broadcast would have passed for this to not seem like he was popping up too soon. This is the 24th episode of the third season, very nearly end of the third season now, and it's directed by Rich Moore, aired originally in August 1992. And in this one, Homer wins several $1,000s from the power plant because of radiation that affected his sperm count. I think we can all agree that it's probably not just the radiation that's causing problems with his health, but nevertheless, he gets his money, and Herb, who has been sleeping rough after, well, just in case you haven't seen that episode for some reason, I won't say what happened, but after what Homer did, um, finds out about this, and he decides to approach Homer to ask him for a loan of that money so he can come up with a new project that I think is going to make a lot of money. And this project is, of course, a device that tells you exactly what babies are thinking. And I really enjoyed this one because we get to see quite a bit of Maggie, and Maggie doesn't feature that often. Well, she does, but she's a very passive character. But whenever she gets an episode that focuses quite a bit on her, I always think it's quite refreshing and quite unique compared to the other episodes. So as Herb is following her around, listening to her every whinge and whine and babble, recording what she means, I think it's a genius idea. I don't think it works, but I think it's a brilliant idea. And if such a device existed, I imagine it would save a lot of parents a lot of nightmares. But I kind of enjoyed having her back. I think there's a really lovely message in this about forgiveness. And that's not necessarily to say that Herb forgives Homer. I won't say exactly what happens with the episode, but certainly I think it's an interesting look at family feuds and when you need to let bygones be bygones. Coming from a family where there are a lot of little family feuds happening all the time, where people don't like each other for reasons they can't really remember. I think this is definitely a nice message. I quite liked it. It's quite good fun. It's never going to be one of my favourite episodes because there's just nothing about it that I think is particularly unique, or there's nothing that particularly sparked any kind of major excitement or enthusiasm. But generally speaking, I found it to be delightful. It's got a lovely message. I enjoyed the concept of this baby machine. Herb is an interesting enough character, and I like the animation style of this one. With the little lazy sperms and things. Just it entertained me. I think it was pretty decent, well presented, well edited. Never my favourite, but by no means a bad episode. It's pretty good.